in life, it looks like the content, the story, the interactions, the relational activities are what are causing our experience. So we have an outer focus. The Upanishad says the doors of the body, the doors of our awareness were pierced outwards. So we're drawn out. And so we think, you know why I feel this way? It's your fault. Because you did that thing that made me feel that way. You better stop. Can you just be different so I don't have to feel this way? That would help, you know? We do that to a person, we do that to a thing, we do that to a circumstance. Everything, my situation, my inner experience is caused by all these things outside. The thing is, first of all, there is nothing outside because we're all interwoven and interconnected. And the second thing is, oftentimes life experiences are pulling the thing up that needs to be pulled up. It's a good thing. It's useful. It's positive. I think I told you guys about when my son didn't get into Johns Hopkins and I had a kind of existential crisis.
Which, mind you, this guy is not dramatic or emotional. Like that's he doesn't.
I don't. There's not really a way to kind of like give you help you understand the situation, other than just saying like I seriously like it was as if somebody had died. Like that's how I felt. Now I know enough about this process to know that I was in a process. So I didn't spin out. I didn't like freak out. I didn't do anything. But the emotional experience and the experience in the thoughts I was having and the way my body felt were very real and very intense. And so I just kind of held on for dear life. At a certain point, I said to Corinne, the clothes in the closet, those are not my clothes. I don't know whose they are. I don't know whose body this is. This is not my life. You know, it was like on that level, it was an existential crisis. I don't know who I am. I don't know what's going on here. This is not my life. And it passed. I went through it. It surged up. It was all consuming. And then it passed. And if I didn't know better, I could have done all kinds of things to try to fix it, to try to fix the situation. This can't be happening. I need to fix it. I'm powerless. I don't like the feeling of powerlessness, so I'm going to try to create a sense of control and make something better. But I just allowed the experience to move through me. I knew that it was going to pass. It was going to peak, and it was going to pass, resolve, subside, subside and resolve. And so I allowed that to happen. And I didn't blame anybody. I didn't say, Aaron, why didn't you do a better job on your applications? Corinne, you know what? We should have done a better job with Aaron's applications. How did we let them just do all their applications on their own? We should have been more involved. This is so terrible. We're terrible parents. None of that. I didn't go anywhere with that. I didn't call Johns Hopkins and tell them why they made a wrong decision.
Tell them you're pulling their donation.
Exactly. You know? But that's one example, but there's a million examples in every day, and we do that. We try to fix it. If I can fix this, instead of, right now, I'm involved with organizing an event in India where Krishna Das is playing a concert in a community there in Oroville. And there's a big protest. People don't like it. And just today, before I came here, I read some very nice, friendly emails about me, where people were talking about what my motivations are for doing that, for bringing Krishna Das to Oroville. And they got me figured out. And it pulls up this I need to defend myself. My reputation is on the line. It's time to write a scathing response. I'm not going to do that. But the feeling is there, the feeling that I need to protect myself and defend myself and cut them down, get them back. It's all there. But I'm not going to do any of that stuff because I know that what's happening is these feelings are being pulled up into my awareness, and it's a good thing. It's actually beneficial to me. It's helpful to me. I'm glad.
And when they come up to then be burned in the fires, as we might say, if we run, and we all have tendencies to do this, if we run in the direction of drama, they don't get a chance to get burned in the fires. Like that's
No, we recycle them.
Right, we just
We
like, and
plant the
there's-
seeds again, and then they grow again, and we plant them again, and they grow again. Yeah, we just keep it going.
So like the samskara can come up to be burned, or the samskara becomes a bija. We talk about bija sounds. Bija is seed. So it comes up and it gets burned and we're actually free from it, or it comes up and we plant it back into the ground and we re-sprout the very thing we want to get free from. And that's this process of purification that is happening in our lives pretty much all the time. You will have time periods where you're like, oh, life is kind of good right now. I'm not being, as we would say, triggered, like we talk about that a lot. Like, I'm not being triggered right now, everything's fine. And that's like the moment where things like the waters of purification are a little more calm. And then, for whatever reason, the stars, the planets, your person, the divine mother's like, okay, ready to level you up, child. Then you get thrown into another cycle of it. So,
and it's a loving,
it's beautiful.
It's a loving process. That's the thing. If we can remember, I am being held in the arms of the Divine Mother and carried through a loving process that is for my own benefit and is helping me get free. I mean, imagine if in the midst of experience where your ego is supremely challenged, you could feel that. She is carrying me forward. And this is my healing that's happening right now. This is positive. This is good. So that's an option that's there. And that's how these karmas don't get recycled. We don't, because otherwise we just impulsively do the thing again, and it has to be rebalanced.